if you're offered a deal to retain the benefits of the single market, but that includes allowing free movement of people, what do you say?
Listen, we can't deal with totally hypothetical questions. Our position is we want tariff-free trade access to the European market, and we want managed migration in the future.
That's not a hypothetical question, because all the EU leaders have said that you have to agree to the four freedoms if you want access to the single market.
On June the 9th, we will meet immediately as a government. We will then go to the negotiations and make it clear that we will protect EU nationals' rights in this country, and we will seek tariff-free access to the European market, and we will negotiate from there.
So you're going to get both of those things?
We're going to negotiate from there until we get an agreement on it. We're not going to threaten them, we're not going to walk away.
But do you understand, Theresa May has set out her objective that she says access to the single market is something except she can't have because she wants free movement of people.
Well, what Theresa May has set out is a threat that she would transform our economy into something that undermines the rest of Europe if they don't give her what she wants. That doesn't seem a very sensible way of approaching negotiations. We're serious about getting that access to the market, and it's obviously important for manufacturing industry in this country as well as in France and Germany, because there are supply chains on both sides of the channel.
You said you wanted clarity and accountability from Theresa May. And I'm asking you to be clear as to what is your priority. Is it free movement, or is it to have, because we just heard Keir Starmer say that free movement would end after Brexit. So if that's the case, is that your priority, or is it
the single priority market? Is tariff-free access to the European market and managed migration thereafter, obviously maintaining EU nationals' rights to remain in Britain and British nationals' rights to remain in different European countries, predominantly France and Spain.
Is reducing immigration an objective of Brexit?
The objective for us in Brexit is to make sure we have this access to the European market, and, which we would do immediately, is try to end the way in which some groups of migrant workers are grossly exploited in order to undermine working conditions and rights in this country.
I'm going to offer you another one. You can stay in the customs union, but you can't negotiate your own trade deals.
We will prioritise tariff-free access to the European market and ensure we have a trade arrangement with the rest of the world that's commensurate with the needs of our economy.
Do you want to negotiate your own trade deals?
We want to negotiate tariff-free access to the European market, and then the trade issue follows on after that.
But with the rest of the world, would you do, for example, a trade deal with the United States?
If you're part of the European Union, you can't do separate trade deals. I'm appalled at the idea that's been put forward by the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership because of the way it undermines so many working conditions on both sides of the Atlantic. But that is an issue some way down the line. The priority has got to be this access to the European market. Around half of our trade and a very large proportion of our manufacturing trade is with the European Union.
Do you want to have your own trade deals with the rest of the world? Is that
one
of your objectives?
The question is actually very clear. We win the election, we negotiate to maintain a trade relationship with Europe. That's the key.
Okay, last question. If you come back with your deal and your MPs or Parliament rejects that deal, does Britain stay in the European Union?
We then go back and negotiate further on that, but we will negotiate, and the decision will be made by 27 member states, by the European Commission and by the European Parliament, as well as by the British Parliament. We're approaching this in a constructive, intelligent and sensible way, accepting the decisions of the referendum and giving the priority of maintaining jobs and trade access in Britain.